So nice to have you joining me again today. We're going to do the first little exercises on our knees, but if you prefer to do these little warm-ups standing up, you can do these moves standing, so whatever you feel like. But the first thing we're going to do is just lift our shoulders, roll them back, and again. That's the way. And then we're just going to take one arm up. You're going to hold on to the wrist and just lift that arm up so it sort of lengthens that side of you. Lift it up so much that it might even just tip you a little bit. Come back up, hold on to your other wrist. Lengthen that arm, lift it up, up, up. Might just tip you over a little bit. And then back. I'll do one more on each side. That should feel really nice. So you're really getting nice and long in the body. And here, so you lift up first. It's a real feeling of length, and then a little over to the side, and then back, and bring your arms down. Then we pop our fingertips just here by our ears, and we're going to bring the elbows toward each other and then open, and in, and back. So I'm really trying to get my upper back moving, my shoulder blades to glide around. If you can get your elbows to touch, that's good. It'll give your upper back a big stretch. And then when you open out, your shoulder blades slip a little more towards your spine. Okay, good. And then we'll do another one, same activating those shoulder blades. So one arm on top, one arm underneath. And then just switch the other way. So really stretch strong straight arms out to the side and cross them in the front. That's it. Warms up quickly, doesn't it? Take big deep breaths. And then bring your arms all the way back and down. Shoulders, just let your arms dangle, give them a little shake out. Hands come up. What we'll do here is one arm's going to go in front and one arm round behind, and then just lift back up. Get really tall again, drop your shoulders. And then here, one arm in front, one arm behind, and lift. And here, and inhale, and then exhale. Shoulders, every time I bring my arms up, I have to remind myself too, shoulders can come down while my arms are stretching up. Last one. And then a big circle wide as your arms come all the way down. All right, so now we're going to sit down on the mat. So if you were standing up, come and sit down. And we'll just have our feet in front like this. Hip distance apart and feet parallel, and you hold on behind your thighs here. I want you to pull on your thighs a little bit and sit as tall as you can. So you almost feel like there's length at the back of the neck as you just tuck the chin ever so slightly. So as you're pulling on your thighs, you can ripple your spine nice and tall and long. And just relax that feeling. Again, a little pull on your thighs, sit as tall as you can. Your shoulders are dropping down. There's length, the side of your neck. And relax. So on this next one, we're just going to roll back a little bit. So what I think of is pulling my belly button towards my spine, and I just roll back the pelvis. So it's just like I'm just rolling back onto the lowest part of my spine. And you can see that my spine is like the letter C. It's a real curved shape. And while I'm doing that, I'm pulling my belly button back towards my spine. So a lot of work here, even though such a tiny little move. When I feel really grippy here in the thighs, I try and let this be softer and bring the effort more into my tummy. and then I come forward so my shoulders are over my hips, still rounded, and then I sit up nice and tall. So if you have osteoporosis, have a look at the little box above, because it's different for you. You're going to take a hinge back. So what we need to do is still drawing in the tummy, but keeping our spine long, and then you just tip straight back and up. Okay, so whichever one you're doing, we'll do 3 more together. So I'm going to round, tummy's pulling back, feet are light, legs are soft, pulling the tummy in, come forward. You can always pull on your legs to help you, especially when you get onto that tall part. Hold on and lift up, rolling back. Good, pull in the tummy, and then come forward and sit tall. Little pull on your thighs to help you get up nice and tall. And again, rolling back. Make your abdominals really activate, pull back, and then come forward and sit up tall. We're going to do 2 with no hands now. So whether you're hinging or rounding, we're going to go back, but don't go too far because we're just going to hold it for a moment. So just go back to where you can hold it. Then I'm just going to go tap down with one hand, up, down, up. One more each side, down, up, and then I sit up. Good. We're doing that again, but a little different with the hands. So hands forward if you can. We roll back, we hold it here. One arm's going to go out to the side, come back, out to the side, keep pulling in your waist, and back, out to the side, and back, out to the side, and back, and then you sit up and sit tall. So if you're like me and got a little shake in your tummy, it means you're working well, working hard there. All right, we're going to lay on our back now. So hands down, help yourself down onto the mat. Hands beside you. Have your feet pointing straight ahead, hip distance apart. And then we practiced this one in the first class, and we'll go back to it for a little moment now. Touch your lower back into the mat and then reach the other way. So just a little pelvic tilt. And I want you to connect your breath to your movement. So as your lower back touches the mat, you breathe out, breathe in when there's a little space in the small of your back and the tailbone's reaching to the mat. Breathe out, pubic bone to belly button. Breathe in as you arc. Breathe out, your lower back might just touch the mat. Don't jam it down, just gently inhale and then exhale. And then I want you just to bring yourself back to where you are in a neutral line, just the natural curve of your back. And in our next exercises, you're going to just see if you can keep that steady feeling where there's just the slightest little space in the small of your back. Then what we'll do is we'll pop our hands behind the back of our head and just lift up your elbows off the floor a little bit so you can just see them in your side view. We'll take a breath in, and when you breathe out, we're just going to curl up. So tuck the chin and curl your chest forward. Now have a quick think about that little space in the small of your back. I did the same thing. I pressed my lower back down to help me get up. But now that I'm here, I can just a little bit more heavy in the tailbone so that I can really feel that lower tummy working, and then lay back and down. Actually feel your upper abdominals with these ones too. So a little lift, breathe out, inhale back, and exhale, lift, inhale back. Do 2 more. Keep your feet really light on the next one, really light through the feet, and back and down. Good. Then we're going to lift up one leg into tabletop, and I'm just going to flex my foot there. So here I want you just to reach away, bring it in, reach away, bring it in. Nice and steady through the pelvis. I'm going to breathe out when the knee comes in, and I'm trying to think of my rib to the opposite hip. So I inhale and then I exhale, there's a nice strong connection. Inhale, exhale. And then I'm going to lift up my head as the knee comes in. As it reaches away, I drop down a little bit and then I'm going to come back and up. So my chest and my knee come up together. So breath out when everything draws in. 2 more. And then back and down. Oh, good. How's that feel? Take the other leg, little flex. Let's just get the leg going first. So out, in, use your breath. Even if you're doing the osteoporosis version and your head's staying down, if you use your breath out as the leg comes in, you can feel this core activation. And even if you don't have osteoporosis and your neck didn't like that, do the same move. Find that core connection without lifting up your head. But if you're ready to lift up your head, and we'll go together, now we'll just take a little lift and back. That's good. Keep going. Don't hold your breath. 2 more. And back and down. That's the way. Give your knees a little quick hug in towards you and feel a little stretch in your low back. And then feet down on the floor. Hip distance apart, hands down beside you. You're going to touch your lower back into the mat and push down with your feet and lift up your hips. Stretching your thighs long, knees reaching over your toes. Feel a nice long stretch and roll back down. Go up again. Moving through each part of your back. Open up your chest. Find that inner thigh connection again, so don't let your knees go open to the side. And back and down. We're going to do a little variation on the next one. So I want you to lift your hips up, and this will feel so nice on your back. Lift up. Now, what I'll do here is I'm just going to dip one hip bone down. So I'm on my hips are on a bit of an angle there. Then I'm just going to lay down, but just on that one side. So I'm just laying one side of my back on the mat. Once I'm down, I'll go up that side again. And then when I'm at the top, I'll make myself even. Then I tip the other way. So just drop one hip bone down, roll down, just massaging one side of my back, lifting up and even. And the other way again, tip over. And I don't know about you, but one side feels easy peasy and one side feels really quite stiffer. So we'll go over again, and then I want you to do the stiff side one more time. The awareness that Pilates gives you in your body is so insightful. So I'm going to do my stiff side again. Just helps us be able to work into where we need a little bit of extra strength or stretch and help make things a bit more even if we can. And then once we're here, we come all the way down nice and even and then relax. Put your hands on your knees, legs up into tabletop. What we'll do here is I'm just going to reach my fingers to the ceiling and dip my thighs down a tiny little bit and then bring them back and hug in again. So the thighs go away and then I come back. So I'm moving from the thigh bone and I'm not trying to really get my feet to the ground. I'm just taking my thighs away, so the weight of my legs, my core has to really hold that and come back. So it's just a tiny little dip of both thighs away and back. Feels like I need to pull my belly up as my legs go the other way so that I don't arch my lower back. If your back goes into an arch as you go here, then you know you've gone a little too far, you've lost your connection. So we're going to really work on, you know, you can just take it a few centimeters and you'll really feel that. Oh, I'm using my arms too. And if that's feeling like you'd like a little bit more, what you could do, reach the arms right overhead and come back. So you can just make this suit yourself. With osteoporosis, you can keep going like that for about 4 more. And if you wanted to, you could, if you don't have osteoporosis, you can curl up like this as well. And when the thighs go away and the arms go overhead, the trick is to try and keep your chest up. Because when we reach the legs and the arms away, it's tempting to let our chest drop down too and then come up. But as everything goes away, I'm staying up in my curl, which is the hard part. And I'll do 2 more. Last one. Curl up and then lie down, and we're just going to take a little rock side to side. Then I want you to pop your feet down on the mat. Put the sole of your foot on the edge of your mat so your feet are quite wide. Then we're going to take our knees over to one way and bring them back. Knees can go over the other way. Might feel nice to stretch your arms out too. So I want you to go side to side, giving the hip a nice stretch and your back. And back. Good. Then we just roll over to the side to help yourself up. And we're going to sit up with our legs out. Put your legs about as wide as the mat. And with this one, if you have a little pillow, sometimes it feels easier to sit up a little bit, or you could bend your knees. Some of us who have super flexible legs find this position nice and easy, but my legs are never that. They're always tight. So I often find that bending my knees means I can keep my back upright, which is what we want here. Nice tall back. All right, so here we're going to reach our arms out wide, shoulders down, and we're just going to take a little twist to the side and back, and a little twist, twist, back. See, I'm breathing out, out, in. I'm not going too far. Last one. And then I'm just going to reach one arm forward and reach over, little finger to little toe, and dive forward and reach the other arm back. And then I come up and I'm back square. Show you from the front. We go cross, little finger to little toe, up, back, twist, dive, up, and back. And when you do the diving part, when you reach to your little toe, the opposite hip's going to want to come off, but you need to anchor it down so you're staying really square. Reach, up, last one, twist, and over, up, and back, and down. Bring your legs in. And then we just have them out in front. Hands go round and prop yourself up on your elbows. Okay. I like this position because it helps you, when you're up like this, you can see your pelvis and you can make sure that you're keeping nice and steady, and you can watch what's going on with your movements. All right, the only thing with this one is just see how you can drop down into your shoulders, but I want you to push up away from the floor so your chest is up as much as possible. Okay. Then we'll lift up our legs, and I just want you to stretch one and then the other. So our thighs are staying together, and it's just bend and straighten the knees and pulling that tummy in. Okay, 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, that's it. And then we tap our toes to that side of the mat, and then to that side, and then to that side, and then to that side, and then 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's us done there. Help yourself up. Okay, feet together, soles of the feet together, make a diamond, and then you're just going to take a little tip forward. Okay, we're going to come around onto our hands and knees, which is one position I really love to work the abdominal muscles in. So let's come around, crawl around, find this position. And like we practiced in the first class, it's just a matter of drawing the tummy in and up. So you feel like you're working your abdominals. There's a connection at the front. The ribs are slipping down. And I'm just, almost feels like I'm lifting my tummy. Like imagine you had a wet t-shirt and you're just trying to pull your tummy away from the t-shirt. And then you sort of push up with strong arms, but your elbows are slightly bent. Then we're going to we can try and keep really steady through our body. Take opposite arm and leg and reach them out. Okay, so I had a wobble, maybe you did too on the first one, but I always just hold it for a moment, find my steadiness, and then bring it back. Then the other side, don't rush. Bring it back. When you bring your knees back, keep them a fist distance apart. It's easy to sort of let the knees come inward and too close together, but you want the knee right under the hip. That'll keep you steady. Keep drawing in the tummy, nice and strong, steady shoulders, pushing through the floor to lift you up. And then reach opposite arm and leg and hold it there. Now I'm keeping my back flat, but I'm going to bring my elbow and knee in and under on a breath out, and then I'll stretch it out again. So we go. So I'm really using my abdominal muscles to avoid a rounded back. Last one. And then back and down. And then I'll take the other side, reach it out. Good, your eyes should be on the mat, just in front of your hands. Exhale, come in and under, stretch out. You're doing really well. We're nearly there with this. Move. It takes a lot of concentration, this one, doesn't it? To do it well. Last one now. Oops, oh no, got the wobbles. And then back and down. Okay, sit back towards your feet just as much as you can, and then just take a little stretch. Okay, come back up now and up on your knees again. So we're going to, now I'll show you from the side. What we'll do is I want you to feel like there's a feeling of lift up through the front of the thighs, up through the pelvic floor. So there's a little drawing in and up, but without squeezing your bottom. And then I just want you to take a tiny little stretch back and come forward. And again, so as you tip back, drawing up through the tummy and back. So all this work for the front of the thigh and the abdominals. We keep our ribs and our hips in line together. Sometimes reaching the arms forward when you tip back actually is a nice sort of a counterbalance. So just go back as far as you can, that you keep everything in line, nice straight back. And last one. And then I want you to put your hands on your lower back and just look up, lift up your chest, take a little arch back. But rather than let it go into let your tummy drop forward, you just think of it moving from the upper body, so you keep lengthening here in the lower back. So it's actually a small move, but really good for your chest and your back, your upper back. So we just look up, chest up and forward, and then back. And when you come back, that's when your abdominals can help you. Lift and back. Give your shoulders a little roll and you are all done. Good work.